Okay. Okay, Yashikoyak, everybody. A great day to Mayor.
Okay, and everyone should have a good day too.
Amen.
5th of December, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
8A1.
Okay, so
Rami Ben Chama. Bring inside.
yeah, so just to to tell you over what I found out about this Gemara that we were bothered by.
Yeah.
So we had the three steps. We had the step of Abaye. Abaye says that we got a case where the sharecropper's son is going through the field, and when the anim see that, they say, "Oh, we may as well give up on this field," and like that, it's like hefker, and like that, he can give it to the father because the father is taking from hefker. He's not taking from the anim. It's not called that he gazled from the anim anymore. And Ravada Barmasta says, "What do you mean? That's like putting a lion on the field. When the anim see the son over there taking the leket, it's like a lion's on the field, and they go away and they give up. So that you can't do. You can't make a case. You can't make up a case where like the owner of the field, the one that's running the field, is preventing a neem from going onto the field and taking the leket. That's their right to take leket. So on that, Rava answered that no, what's happening, we're trying to explain Rabbi Yossi why he says even if the sharecropper is an usher, his son, who's an ani, he could take leket for him, and and even though he can't make a kinyan himself, but he can give it to the father, and it's not called the father's gazling from the nim. So Rava says we're talking about a case where Chazal came in and they made a takana to give the kinyan to the son, that he's got a kinyan. So and like that, we said, but why is Chazal allowed to do that? They're basically institutionalizing a institutionalized lion on the field. Why is that any better than what Abaye said? And the Gemora says no, it's not called that they put a lion on the field. It's not called that the Rabban put a lion on the field, because the Anim say, oh, so even though we see that we can't get anything on this field, but we see that we could now do the same thing with if we get hired out, and our sons will be able to do the same thing. They'll be able to give it to us too. So like that, the anim are not. It's not called the anim are being pushed off of the field. So we asked, well, if that's the way the anim are going to look at it, so why don't we say that's the way they're going to look at it in what Abaye said, and then they won't be. It won't be called that there's an ari. So my chavrusa, who I consider to be a Talmid Chacham, he was looking. He heard everything right away, and he said, "That's the difference. The difference is that when Chazal come in and they make this takana, that the cotton son has a kinyan, midrabanan, so it's something that they're doing, which institutionalizes the permission for the son to come in, and like that, it's not called that the anim are being scared off of the field. and so they'll say it's okay with us. We it's nicha to us. It's fine with us because we'll do the same thing on the other field. And if you'll ask my question, well, why can't if so? That's the way they look at it. So what's the difference whether Chazal did it or whether the sharecropper brings his son in to the field to create that situation? And then the Gemora said, "Oh no, it's like you put a lion on the field." It seems to be that the difference is the way he explained was that a person can't, so to speak, take the law into his own hands and do such a thing and put his son down there to take the leket, and then the Anim say, "Oh, it's we can't do anything over here." He put his son over there, and all is lost, and they give up. A private person can't do that on the field to prevent the Anim from coming down. So you'll ask, so why do Chazal able to do something that the private person not allowed to do? Right? That's part of the question. So we're saying that if Chazal get involved over here, and it's now part of the takana that's what they do. They give a kinyan to the katan. So then the anim are going to look at it differently. They're going to look at it differently. They're going to say, okay, so that's what the rule is. It's not that the sharecropper cheated us out. It's not that the owner cheated us out. That's the rule of Chazal, and so we'll make do with other fields. It's okay. He got this field. We'll get the next field. That's the way he explained. So I think that's about a reasonable way to as reasonable as you could get to explain the difference over here. So that's the wrap up of that.
Very interesting.
Right. Okay, so where are we up to today?
A1 right side, second paragraph. Third.
That's one, and we said why? Because they should be like a poel. So the point, so the Mishnah. So let's just review from the two dots over here. The first point is that the Gemora is taking a look at what it says in the Mishnah. Mishnah says that Eved Ivri, he finds something while he's working for the Balabayas, so he can keep it. So the Gemara says, what? Why should he be able to keep it? He's like a day worker, and we say by a day worker that generally speaking, the rule is that when you find something, it belongs to the Balabayas. And so on that, Rav Chia bar Abba answered in the name of Rabbi Yochanan. We're talking about an Eved who's a jeweler. He strings pearls, so he's doing a very valuable, high-paid position over there. Ein Rabba rotze l'shanoso l'malach acheres. His master doesn't want him to do anything other than his work, what he's doing. It's not worth it for him. And so and Rashi said that because for him to take off time from his work in order to pick up a 20 shekel note on the ground, it's not worth it. Not worth it for the master. He'd rather than have him give him the 20 shekel, he'd rather that this guy not interrupt his work, because his work is worth more than that. So therefore, Rashi said the din will actually be that if he does so, if this Eved Ivri who's the jeweler, if he does do that, so it'll belong to him. What he picks up, it'll belong to him, but he'll have to deduct from his wages somehow the amount of time that he spent and that he wasn't doing his job that he's supposed to do. Okay. Okay, so that was what Rav Chia said in the name of Rabbi Yochanan. And now we're up to Rava Amar, I think. So in other words, now Rava is going to come along and have a different answer to the question. Why is it that the Mishnah says that this Eved Ivri, he can keep the lost item that he finds during when he's on the job working for his master? Alan, would you like to read?
Yeah. It's 8A1.
No, Alan, it's 12B1.
That'll be one. Oh, wow. Okay.
Right-hand column, second paragraph. The Gemora offers.
We're reading 12B1. Right. Right. Gemora, which one? What page? 12B1. What side?
Right-hand column,
Yeah.
second paragraph. The Gemora offers.
Okay. Gemora offers several answers to this question. Umar Rabbi P.A. Bar Abba Omar Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Chaya Bar Abba said the name Rabbi Yochanan. Eved, no, cave, Sos, Asa, Noah. Here in the Mishnah, we are dealing with a servant who drills holes in pearls, or is otherwise highly skilled. Rabbi said, Shano, so Lima Law, whose master does not wish to transfer him to any other work. Since a servant is engaged in such profitable labor, it would be unusual for it to be worthwhile for him to take time off to pick up a fine. A Mishnah deals with the unusual case in which a servant discovered a fine whose value exceeded the value of the time necessary discovered a fine whose value exceeded the value of the time necessary to acquire it. Since the master did not envision such a happenstance, he never intended for the servant to acquire fines for him as part of his duty. The servant is therefore free to acquire the fine for himself. All right, this is the second answer then.
Can't hear.
Want me to continue? Second answer, Rav Omar, Rabbi said, the manga, or we are dealing with the Mishnah to the case where the servant picks up a fine while continuing to do his work at the same time. Since he did not take any time from his duties, he discharged his duty to his master and is free to acquire the fine for himself.
Mm-hmm.
Guess Lou's not ready yet. The third answer. Rav Papa Omar. Rav Papa says, Kugon Chesachor Ro La Kate Miss So price which was thought that the fine of a laborer belongs to his employer is dealing with the case in which the employer hired him to collect fines. And what is the case? I.e., how could it happen that the employer would busy his workers with collecting fines? Ray, this could happen where, for example, the lake overflowed and beached fish on the shore. In such a case, the employer might have the workers to collect the ownerless fish.
Oh, the ownerless fish. Okay, that's the ownerless fish answer.
So, right, and so this is a natural thing, I guess, that happened. Because everything seemed to be okay, but in this case, the lake overflowed, and he was able to spend time getting the beach fish. And then, since evidently there must have been so many fish that the employer might hire workers specifically to collect the ownerless fish.
Okay, we'll have to see what that means exactly. Okay. Lou, would you like to read the Rashis? We got Rashis to explain the answer of Rava and the answer of Rav Papa. Why it is that the Mishnah says that when an Eved Ivri he finds a find, so he Harei Shel Atzman. It belongs to the Eved Ivri. It does not belong to the Balabais. Doesn't belong to the one that that bought him to work for him. And we said that's difficult because the Eved Ivri should just have a din like a poel, and the din of a poel is that when he finds something, a day worker finds something in the course of his work, he has to give it to the Balabais. So what does Rava answer over here? Rava answered, "B'magbia Metzia im malachtoi askinan." We're talking about a case where he's picking up the Metzia, the Eved is picking up the lost item, im malachtoi, together with the malacha that he's doing. And like that, he's going to have to give it to he'll be able to keep it for himself. Says Rashi, what does that mean? Im malachto.
Shelo bital klum hilchach la'atzmo. It means he didn't nullify anything, and therefore it belongs to him.
Right. So there was no, so why does that mean that he could keep it for himself?
Since he did not take off any time from his duties, he has discharged his duty to his master and is free to acquire the fine for himself. He's not obligated to do more than one task at a time. Thus, it is his primary task that is being done in the employ of the master. The secondary activity of picking up the otherwise ownerless article, which the servant does simultaneously with his primary work, is done on his own behalf.
Hmm. Because I'm just wondering about this answer. The first answer, Rav Chia bar Abba, with the jeweler, with the Eved who's a jeweler, the master doesn't want the jeweler to take off from his work to to go pick up this lost item, and that was a reason why it would be that since the worker the master doesn't want him to do that, that would be a reason why it was that he could keep it the Eved for himself. Seems to be just the opposite over here. Rav is explaining that since he's not doing anything he's not negating his time and in working for the master. He didn't take off any time in order to do it. That's the reason why he could keep it for himself. But Rav Chia seemed to be saying since it's not something that the master wants him to do, that's the reason why he'll keep it for himself. It's kind of funny. Okay. We'll have to keep that in mind. If there maybe Rava wouldn't agree to the case that Rav Chia bar Abba is putting forward as an explanation. Okay. So now the last answer was given by Rav Papa. Rav Papa.
Should I read Rav Papa Amar in the Rashi?
Yeah.
Okay, Rav Papa Amar. Ha Desanya Oel Mitziaso Lebal Hevis. He says that we learned in the Brisa that a worker, his fine belongs to the balabayas. His fine belongs to his owner.
Yeah, right. I don't know why Rashi's telling us that now. I mean, that's what we've been talking about. That's the issue, of course. Why did Rashi wait for the third speaker to say what the issue is? It's very funny. Okay, let's not get bogged down with that. So, what's Rav Papa's answer? Kagon shescharo lelaket mitzios. He's been hired out for that type of work specifically to recover the lost items. Says Rashi.
Is this the Rashi I just read? You're going to read the next one.
The Rashi that says Shesecharo lelaket mitzios.
Okay, so Shesecharo, that the payment, the locket, Mitzios. He's employing him to collect things that are lost, to find finds. That's a one-word Rashi. It says harbe, many. He wants many of them.
And you got a little letter over there by the word harbe.
I do not.
So I have a letter. Actually, it says that this one word Rashi over here, they say that it doesn't exist in the older manuscripts of Rashi. This word doesn't appear over there, and the words of the Dibur Maskil, Shesacharoi Lilkot Metzios, that goes together with the previous Dibur Maskil, Rav Papa. Oh, okay, it's all one. It's all one Dibur Maskil, and you just take out the word harbe. So, in other words, you read the Rashi. Rav Papa said that on this that we have a brisa that seems contrary to our Mishnah, that a poel who finds something that belongs to the Baal Bais, not like what it says in our Mishnah that the Eved Ivri can keep it, even though we say that an Eved Ivri should be judged like a poel. And we're talking about a case of Shezacharo Lalakat Metzius. That's the case we're talking about. And then we go and then the Gemora says the Hechidami. What exactly is the case? Hechidami. What exactly is the case that we're talking about? And then we read another longer Rashi. So let's go. You want to read the rest of the Rashi's Rashi Dibur Maskil Hechidami.
Hechidami is also a one-word Rashi.
The Isrami.
Isrami.
Yeah, meaning the Isrami. How did it come about? How what's the case that came about that he hired him to go find things? What is that? It sounds like a funny type of a thing. That's not usually what people are hired to do. It sounds like there's a story behind this, and so therefore that's why the Gemara asks, "Hechidami, what's going on over here?" So the Gemara answers, "Dafke Agma Bekavre." And we got the next Rashi to read. No.
This is a case where the lake overflowed and beached fish. Shitzaf ha naar chun ligidosav vitzafu hadagim sham v'chashi vaso hayamim hayamim
Ukashi Ashvu Hamayim
hamayim hayotzim nimtzao sham dagim harbe. So what is the word solef or shalaf?
Ta'afke, which word?
The first word in the Rashi, shin zayin fei.
Yeah, the shin is sh, that going on the river or this lake, whatever it is, this body of water. Shetzaf hanahar. The tzaf is it overflowed.
The river
overflowed
outside of its banks. And it beached fish there
Yeah, so the fish floated onto the banks over there.
Ukashi baz show hayamim. When they came
Yeah,
out of the water?
from the word yavesh. Ukesh yavshu, from the word yavesh. When the water that had overflowed beyond the banks dried up,
Dried up. Hayotzim. They came out. And we find Sham there, fish, many fish. It left many fish on the land. Da'afilu targum shel hatzif, that even targum is the translation.
Yeah, the word it's afke. The word afke is the targum, is a translation of the word hetzif.
De misrag minan v'yatzaf habarzel. What is this word? Kid mis rag misan minan.
Yeah, all these there's two introductory letters that are not part of the word over here. Ked metargaminen, as it's been translated by in other words by the Targum in the Navi and Malachim, because this Rashi's now bringing a pasuk from the Navi to prove to you that that this is what the word means. Kedemetargaminen v'yotzef habarzel v'kafa barzola. Pretty enigmatic pasuk to translate, but whatever the translation of the pasuk is, we see the word v'yotzef. That's the word that Rashi is saying. The targum for that word is the afke. Yotzef means to overflow. The word suf actually is to float, and v'yotzef in this context is we're talking about the water overflowed. It like floated beyond the banks of the river. And the word afke is the word that we have in our Gemora. It says the afke agma v'kavre, that the agam, the nahar, the river overflowed. Kavare is its banks. Rashi's just proving to you that his translation of the word afke in the Gemora is correct when he says that it overflowed.
Okay. So, in other words, there's all these fish laying around, and it's very easy for the worker to pick one up. Is that the point?
Yep.
Yeah, what exactly is the point over here?
The fish, it says the fish are ownerless, and the worker can pick them up.
Okay, Rashi's just telling us a story over here of what it is, what's the reason why this guy hired the Eved, that he told the Eved to go, he was hired in order to find things that are Hefker. Because that's what the Gemora says. Hey, Hidami, what's the case? What kind of a funny thing to hire a Eved to do such a thing like that, to go looking around for lost things? No, it's because there was a situation where that's what happened. You have all of these fish that are capable of being gathered. But how does that answer our question? What are the fish the lost items that we're talking about, that he found, that were going to belong to the Balabais? Maybe that's the answer that the Rav Papa is suggesting. No, see, the Rashi doesn't tell us. Rashi doesn't tell us, but the other commentators. I have another commentator over here. That if in the course of doing his job, his whole job is to gather up things that are lost, and in this case specifically the lost fish, because of the fact that the river overflowed, and it's got all these fish on the land now. So he's been hired to find things. So what happens if, while he's engaged in doing his job, which is finding these fish that are hefker, what if he finds something else that's nothing to do really with the whole story, with the fish in the river and all of that? Who will be, and if he can, he say, look, I found this, it's my thing that I found, and I don't have to give it to the Balabais. Could he say that? Seems like a rather complicated case over here.
Yeah, it's not clear at all, but we're out of time.
We're out of time anyway. Okay, Saved by the Bell. Okay, fine.
Thank you.
Wow. It's a difficult Gemora over here, I'll tell you. Wow.
Yeah, it really is.
Okay. All the best.
Okay.
Oh, tomorrow I have a Dirshu Mishnah Brewer test at this time. So we'll resume on Yom Rishon.
All right, so you're missing both classes tomorrow?
Just one class, Erev Shabbos.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you, Rabbi.
Okay, we'll
Okay.
see you 4:45.
Yes, 10:04, Alan.
Right, okay. Thank you.